All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay, so when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge, somebody might want it now.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the Divisional Round Playoffs on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
The coach, you're used to rain all the time over there in Orlando. It is a much less frequent occurrence here, yet wet weather squarely in the forecast this afternoon in Santa Clara, California at Levi's Stadium. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Minnesota Vikings and the San Francisco 49ers. Hello, everyone. As the postseason continues here on EA Sports, we're pleased to bring it to you. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And who has the edge here? You got one side that had some extra rest, but another comes in off a win last week in the wild card round.
And it's funny, depending on which team you are, you say that that's an advantage. You'll take the rest. You'll take the week off. Get your guys healed up a little bit and ready to go. But that team that's coming in off of a win last week, they're really excited to keep playing. They feel like they are hot and ready to go.
The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins, the 31-year-old quarterback in his second season with the Vikings, bringing them out the rest of this offense. And it's also the first time that Kirk Cousins has quarterbacked the team to double-digit victories. The Vikings reaching that plateau for the second time in 3 years after winning 13 back in 2017. But for Kirk Cousins, the numbers have been good. Second straight year on track to top 70% completion-wise. Also the fewest amount of interceptions that he has had. And when you consider he's been playing a large part of this season without his Pro Bowl wideout Adam Thielen, makes the numbers that much more impressive. A good run there to start the drive. 13 yards, first down. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy set the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a run with Cook. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. What we saw there, that's what we know that he can do. He can break tackles and turn them into big runs, and that's what he did.
And what is the buzz phrase nowadays in football for a guy like that? Contact balance. The ability to go through trash, come out the other side, avoid and run through contact, and keep your balance.
So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Now Cook running right. Cook able to escape. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. They run. Cook. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skill showing the power, but just not much room to operate. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. On 2nd down, it's Cook. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Bear in mind, that wasn't a big lineman back there for the tackle for loss. That was a cornerback.
So are you saying the myth has been shattered? That all of them are not just cover corners? Some of them actually will stick their nose in and tackle when necessary? That's what we just saw, isn't it?
'49ers have an extra defensive back on the field. A nickel set for 3rd down. Cousins. And it's caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Vikings take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. So much for being intimidated on the road in the playoffs, right? That was a pretty clinical drive right there.
Yeah, they seem to come out with the attitude of, we don't deal with pressure. We create it on the other team. Just took it right down the field and stuffed it in the end zone.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. 49ers offense coming out here led by the 28-year-old quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who turned 28 last month, and this is his first year as an every-week starter. You remember last season, all the hope, all the expectation, lost in week 3 to injury. But this year, I think he and the rest of this team, they've broken everyone's expectations, double-digit victories. And Jimmy Garoppolo's had a strong run game to rely on, but he's had some good performances himself, maybe most notably Week 14 out-dueling Drew Brees with a 4-touchdown performance in a big win at New Orleans. Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Face mask. Defense.
And the dreaded face mask penalty, that's going to cost him 15 yards.
And it's such a dangerous play. Body going one way, and then your head gets yanked back the other. 15 yards is the right call.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and that'll bring up second down. Quickly now a look at the defensive starters for Minnesota.
Harrison Smith is a player I love to watch. Whether he's ranging deep as a free safety or near the line of scrimmage where he makes more plays, keep your eyes on him.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Garoppolo after the fake give to Breida. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. And I know it's hard in live action, but you've got to keep your hands away from the face. That's a 15-yard penalty.
You work on it all the time, making sure your target area is lower and trying to keep your hands away from the face mask so you don't get the big penalty.
Now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Play action, Garoppolo. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
We call that sack flip.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. And this is going to be incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. They spot it on the midfield stripe. So it is a 60-yard attempt here.
Let's go, brother.
It's not too often you see a holder putting that football down right on the midfield stripe. 60 yards, Charles, but a little bit too much to bite off there.
Yeah, it's good to show confidence in your kicker. That might have been just a little bit too much. I'll guarantee you, as you just noted, putting it down on the midfield stripe, the holder's thinking to himself, that's a long way. Probably not as confident as well.
Now the Minnesota Vikings coming back out as they get the football here. It's been over 4 decades since the Vikings played in the Super Bowl, and you don't know if this is going to be the year that they get back, but there has not been a lot of talk about this Minnesota team. A double-digit win season and a lot of good teams in this conference, and I feel like they're a little bit under the radar. But top 10 in both offense and defense. You got dynamic players on both sides of the football. And we'll see what this Minnesota Vikings team can do down the stretch if they can make a little noise. One thing's for sure, they've been very good at home this season. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Okay, it's time for me to break out my thesaurus for that one. And I don't have anything. That was amazing. One-handed in this weather. I mean, you know the ball's got to be slick. But to be able to catch it and come down with it, what do they call that? The process of the catch? He completed it all the way through.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, he shifts past him. And he works free. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Cousins gives way to Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
Bailey got the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
San Francisco coming back out here, CD. This is a franchise that this year will end a 5-year playoff drought. That's the good news. Great record, but it could have been even better, really. You think about some of the heartbreaking losses. Overtime to Seattle, a field goal at the horn by Justin Tucker and the Ravens, and then that real shocker against Atlanta, Week 15, Julio Jones, the touchdown, no touchdown right there at the goal line.
And that's the one that we shouldn't have been as surprised, only for this reason. They were so injured, so beat up, so many starters not playing in that game, and they took Atlanta to the limit, although I guess we would say Atlanta took them to the limit and found a way to win. But I do think that this 49ers team, with health in the playoffs, as dangerous as any team in the NFC.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Here we go. Wait, 80!
54.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. George Kittle, the receiver that he was looking for. 3rd down here. They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Now a play fake. Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Anthony Barr in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep is Marcus Sherrills. Fielded at about the 28. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And that will come the offense as they take over. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's made it easy for us to put together a highlight package. Just Wondering what he ate before this one started.
Let's include that in the package, right? Get the gourmet out here, figure it all out, and you're guaranteed he'll do that going forward as well, because with a game like this, you don't want to change things too much. Oh, yeah, you also want to continue to get that great blocking he's received today, too.
Yeah, kudos to the guys up front indeed. But he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Now Bailey to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here.
And you work so hard during the regular season to earn that bye to go to the divisional round fresh. Well, maybe they're too fresh because they've come out here pretty flat.
And how many times have we seen it? And let's go to other sports now. Let's go to basketball, baseball, those ones where the playoffs are a series. And you see teams who were playing before versus the team that had the bye, and they take them on. And how often does that team that had been playing before win game one?
Right.
Almost always, right? It feels that way anyway. When it's a one-shot deal like the NFL, that's critical. Because now you come in and you've got the momentum, you can take them out in that one game and it's over. And those other ones, that team at home usually gets a chance to recover, and they're usually the better team.
Well, they better halt that momentum on the other side quickly, or this might be their last game. Garoppolo looks to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
That's track.
They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Anthony Barr able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. On 1st down, here's Breida. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. His throw incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver, and it's third down. The Niners on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. To throw is Garoppolo. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And you see Dalvin Cook in the offense heading back out. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. All right, why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Let's stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how much they give him the ball here. Now Cousins going deep for Diggs. And that's caught inside the 35. Stephon Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs. 69 yards. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. The toss running left. Cook. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Matt Breida out of the backfield, but it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Garoppolo completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Garoppolo now. Check down to Breida. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Now a timeout called for by the offense as he'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. I'm coming for you, son.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout. as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Garoppolo again. This is Coleman with a grab. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. To throw again on 2nd down. Garoppolo. Pass incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And Diggs has it. 39 yards the distance covered on the catch and run. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Here we go, D. Here I come.
Here's Cousins. Going deep for Diggs. That's going to be caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs in the final seconds of the 1st half as his guys continue to pour it on.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook, but even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. A toss running left. It's Cook, and he is into the end zone. So they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime. And so they run it in on the 2-point try. You know, so often, Charles, we talk about from the offense's perspective what you do on the 2-point conversion. How about the defense? How do they play run versus pass?
It's really difficult for them because I think most teams want to play for the pass. That's what they see most teams do. And so are you able to mass enough people inside if the team decides to run it? Very difficult. I think what you're seeing a lot more now, people blitzing the 2-point conversion. They want you to make a quick decision and make it right now.
There, the offense wins the battle for 2. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. This, the first of 4 divisional round matchups coming up this weekend. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it's going to be the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, in our game, we're set up for a terrific second half. So to find out who will advance to the NFC title game, let's send it back out to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. Second half action back underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. Back, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Completes it to Coleman. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Here we go.
So negative yardage, a loss of 3 on second down, and that leads to a tough third down call. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked up by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half.
Don't get nervous.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. The tackle by Eric Armstead.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Let's go. Let's go.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Cook with a first down and much more. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A 16-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Well, after their wild card round game last week, you and I said, wow, they played pretty well. Maybe they got a shot at keeping this one close. They've done more than keep this one close.
Yeah, they've made quite a statement, haven't they? And I don't know if it was the week off that hurt this defense, but they've been flat from the get-go, and that's always a coach's fear. Okay, you earn the open week, but you wonder how they'll respond with that extra time off.
It seems like they've been running uphill all game. Mike Zimmer's made the decision. His guys will go for 2. The toss running left. Cook. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for two up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for two late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, it could also result in a melee later, though. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to make.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. And we'll see if he opts for a heavier dose of running plays, because running is where they've had more success than in the passing game.
And the way they've spread it around to different people running it as well. It's not just been one principal guy who's carried the thing and moved the game forward for them. Whoever has touched it is giving them good yardage. I think he's going to stay with that game plan. It takes the pressure off.
Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook, 62 yards, as his guys continue to pour it on. Well, I'm just not sure what more we can say about him after that one.
But we're certainly going to give it a try, aren't we? Because I believe we're watching greatness personified. It has not mattered all game long where they've handed him the football. He's taken it and found the end zone. He is so locked into that so-called zone, I don't think they're going to get him out of it in this one.
Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try. The toss running left. Cook. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the 2-point conversion for good measure. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. That'll be complete to Breida. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction. So now what can they do on 3rd? Here's Garoppolo to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Returnable for Sherrills. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they've got it going today.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Now Cousins. And he's able to find Diggs. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs saving his best for the playoffs with his 3rd touchdown of the game as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try. A toss running left. Cook. And make him 4 for 4 now on two-point conversions as he'll take this one in for the score. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the two-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the two-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And this one not officially in the bag, but it's looking more and more like you and I are going to be in these same seats next week for a game to go to the Super Bowl.
Man, it's contrary to our meeting with the visitors, wasn't it? Remember when we went over to their hotel before the game, and one of the themes they kept hitting us with was, let's put the pressure on the #1 seed and see if they can handle it. Let's do that. Well, they're the #1 seed for a reason. Best team all year long. They're showing it again in this game.
The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Garoppolo looks to throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
How did he do that? How did he do it? I mean, in this type of weather, it's not just catching it, it's seeing it coming towards it. Maybe that's why I ended up having to go up one-handed, but boy, what a catch.
That was a spectacular one-handed grab. The Niners on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And that is incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here comes the 49ers punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. So far, he has the trio of touchdowns. Obviously, it's been a pretty good game for him.
So if this were hockey, they'd be throwing their hats out on the ice for the hat trick, right? I'm not sure exactly what you do in the NFL except applaud and continue to hope you see a little bit more of this. What a tremendous game.
You want to start a new tradition? What can we throw on the field?
I don't know.
Throw your mic out there.
A lot of fans would like that. Cut his mic.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20, and he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now Cousins going to bring his guys up for the 2-point try. A toss running left. It's Cook. And he is into the end zone again. So get him some oxygen. He scores on the long run and then punches in the two-point conversion for good measure. And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, it's Garoppolo. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage. The Niners on 3rd down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This is 3rd and 10. Garoppolo connects with Kittle underneath. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. There he goes, right side. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. Might get a pick or two.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
The defense more than did its job. Now the offense is summoned onto the field as they'll go for 2. A toss running left. Cook. And boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
Come on, baby. Let's go!
The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right? Good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Here we go.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Garoppolo now, and that's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And all the way down inside the 25 before he's out of bounds. A big play there out of Cook. 57 yards on the ground. So they had him bottled up, able to make a man miss, and then boom, off to the races.
And it's how he made him miss. A little bit of strength, too. Had to work through contact to get him off of him. And then once he did that, now he put his agility to use and took off.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. On the ground, it's Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And all the way down to the 5. 18 yards that time to push him up 1st and goal.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, you're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
They come out here in the eye. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. My word, it'll be nothing short of a monstrous loss on the play, and that is going to set up third and goal. The keeper good for only 4, and that's going to lead to a fourth down. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on fourth and goal. It's a foot race. The 40. He's at the 30. 10, 5. And a cut to the right and some open field here. And he almost made it, but just short. Finally out of bounds, right down around the goal line. So they stay alive in the NFL playoffs, move on to the conference championship. And do you think that the printing press is starting to get those T-shirts and hats ready, my friend?
They have to, Brandon. They have to be ready because if you win, you've got to hand those out on the field right away. And just think about the pressure for the players now. Families are going to be talking about tickets to the Super Bowl even before you play the conference championship game.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.